Max was a German shepherd, a magnificent creature with fur the color of rich earth and eyes that shone with intelligence and warmth.
He was a whirlwind of energy, always ready for a game of fetch or a run through the park.
His bark was deep and resonant, a sound that could intimidate strangers but brought comfort to those who knew him. Max was more than just a dog. He was a loyal companion, a protector, and a friend.
Max came into my life like a whirlwind.
Alex was just 10 years old, a shy boy with a mop of brown hair and a quiet demeanor. He had always wanted a dog, and on his birthday, his wish came true.
The moment our eyes met, a silent understanding passed between us. It was the beginning of a friendship that would shape both our lives.
From that day forward, Max was Alex's shadow, following him everywhere he went. He slept by Alex's bed at night, his presence a comforting weight against the loneliness that sometimes crept in.
Max was more than just a pet. He was my confidant, a furry guardian angel who listened without judgment and loved without reservation.
Alex and Max were inseparable. Max, with his boundless energy, coaxed Alex out of his shell.
We were a familiar sight in the park, Max bounding through the grass, a blur of brown and black, while I chased after him, my laughter echoing through the trees.
Their bond deepened with each passing day. Max was more than just a pet. He was Alex's brother, his confidant, his shadow.
We shared secrets whispered in the quiet of my room, anxieties soothed by Max's warm, comforting presence.
In Max's unwavering gaze, Alex found acceptance, loyalty, and a love that knew no bounds. Theirs was a friendship built on trust and understanding.
A look, a touch, was all it took for us to communicate. Max could sense my moods, his tail wagging furiously when I was happy, his head resting on my lap when he sensed sadness.
They were two halves of a whole, their lives intertwined in a tapestry of shared moments and unspoken promises. Their days were filled with simple joys. Long walks in the woods, Max sniffing at every tree and chasing squirrels with playful intent.
Lazy afternoons spent in the backyard, me curled up with a book while Max lay beside me, his head resting on my lap.
Max was always there, a constant presence in Alex's life, a furry guardian angel watching over him.
Summers were filled with trips to the lake, Max splashing through the water with joyous abandon, his fur glistening in the sun.
Alex would laugh, the sound echoing across the water as Max would shake himself off, showering them both with a spray of cool droplets.
Those were the days, carefree and filled with laughter, days that would forever be etched in my memory.
Winter brought its own magic. Snowball fights, Max bounding through the drifts, his bark a joyous sound in the crisp air.
Evenings spent by the fire, me reading aloud from my favorite books, Max curled up at my feet, the crackling fire casting dancing shadows on our faces.
Each season brought new adventures, new memories that they collected like precious treasures. Years flew by, marked by the changing seasons and the comforting rhythm of their days. Alex grew taller, his features maturing, the carefree abandon of childhood giving way to the responsibilities of youth.
Through it all, Max remained by my side, a constant presence in a world that seemed to spin faster with each passing day.
But time, that relentless sculptor, had begun to leave its mark on Max as well.
The once boundless energy was replaced by a gentle calmness. The sleek, muscular body that had once bounded through the park was now slower, the steps less certain.
The muzzle, once a deep black, was now sprinkled with gray, like wisps of smoke woven through his fur. The eyes that had always shone with such vibrancy now held a hint of sadness, a reflection of the weariness that comes with age.
I noticed these changes, my heart clenching at the sight of my beloved companion slowing down. I cherished every moment we had together, every walk, every game of fetch, knowing that our time was growing short.
He showered Max with love and affection, his touch gentle, his voice filled with a tenderness that spoke volumes of the bond they shared. Then came the day when Max could no longer rise to greet Alex with his usual enthusiasm. He lay on his bed, his breathing labored, his eyes clouded with pain.
"I'm here, Max. It's okay, buddy. I'm right here."
Alex stayed by his side, whispering words of comfort, his heart breaking at the sight of his beloved friend suffering.
Hi, Alex. Let's take a look at Max.
The vet arrived, her face etched with sympathy. She examined Max, her touch gentle, and then turned to Alex, her gaze filled with understanding.
It's time, Alex. Time to say goodbye.
With a heart heavy with grief, Alex led Max outside for one last walk. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange, purple, and gold, a fitting backdrop for their final farewell.
"Come on, Max. Let's go for a walk. Just one more time."
They walked slowly, their pace mirroring Max's fading strength, their silence filled with unspoken words of love and gratitude. Reaching their favorite spot in the park, a small clearing bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun, Alex knelt beside Max.
"I love you, Max. Thank you for everything."
He wrapped his arms around his old friend, burying his face in Max's fur, inhaling the familiar scent one last time. Tears streamed down his face, hot and wet against Max's fur, each tear a testament to the depth of his love. A silent promise, saying goodbye to a loyal friend. As the last rays of the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the park, Max took his final breath. He died peacefully, surrounded by the love of his boy, his tail thumping weakly against the ground one last time in a silent farewell. The world seemed to hold its breath, the silence broken only by Alex's sobs, raw and filled with pain.
He had a long and happy life, Alex. The bond you shared was truly unbreakable, and the joy he brought into our lives will never be forgotten.
But her words were lost on Alex, his ears filled with the echo of Max's silence, his heart shattered into a million pieces. With a final, lingering caress, Alex said goodbye to his faithful companion. He rose slowly, his legs feeling like lead weights, and watched as the vet led Max away. As he turned to leave, he could have sworn he felt Max's presence beside him, a warm, comforting weight against his leg. He looked down, expecting to see Max's furry form, but there was nothing there. It was just the wind rustling the leaves, or maybe, just maybe, it was Max's way of saying that he would always be with him, in spirit if not in body. Life after loss. Alex's heart remembers. Life went on, but it was never the same without Max. The house felt empty, the silence deafening. Alex wandered through the rooms, his footsteps echoing in the stillness, his heart aching with every beat.
I miss his bark, his playful nudges, the comforting weight of his head resting on my lap. I miss our walks, our talks, our silent understanding.
Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The raw, searing pain of loss gradually dulled, replaced by a bittersweet ache. Memories of Max, once a source of unbearable sadness, became a source of comfort, a reminder of the extraordinary bond they had shared. Alex would often find himself drawn back to their favorite spot in the park, the clearing where they had said their final goodbye. He would sit there for hours, surrounded by the memories of Max, his laughter echoing in his ears, the scent of his fur filling his nostrils. Max's legacy, the enduring power of unconditional love. Alex never forgot Max. He kept his memory alive in his heart, in the stories he told, in the way he lived his life. He learned that love, even in the face of loss, never truly dies. It simply changes form, becoming a part of who we are, shaping our hearts and guiding our steps.
Max taught me more than just how to throw a frisbee or play fetch. He taught me about loyalty, about compassion, about the unwavering love and devotion that dogs offer so freely. He taught me that sometimes the greatest gift we can receive is the love of a dog, a love that knows no bounds, a love that transcends even death.
Forever in our hearts, the eternal bond between a boy and his dog. And so, Alex continued on his journey, carrying Max's memory with him like a talisman. He knew that one day he would cross the Rainbow Bridge himself, and when he did, Max would be there waiting for him, tail wagging, ready to embark on a new adventure, their bond unbroken, their love eternal.
For in the end, that is the legacy of a dog's love. It stays with us long after they are gone, a reminder that even in the face of loss, love endures. It is a love that transcends time and space, a love that knows no bounds, a love that will last for all eternity.